Welcome back everyone, and thank you for joining me today. If you enjoy exploring the hidden stories behind ordinary coins, discovering how something as small and familiar as a penny can carry enormous value, and learning about the fascinating world of minting errors and anomalies, then you are in the right place. Today we are going to dive deep into the story of the Liberty 1 cent, specifically the 1962 Lincoln penny from the United States. At first glance, this coin seems like any other penny that has passed through countless hands over the years. Its face value is just 1 cent, but under certain rare circumstances, this coin can be worth as much as $68,000, a remarkable difference that exists because of specific errors, mistakes during minting, mint mark anomalies, and unusual possibilities that make it highly valuable to collectors and enthusiasts. The 1962 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. This series is one of the longest running in United States coinage history, and over the decades it has gained immense popularity among collectors. The obverse of the 1962 Lincoln penny features a detailed profile of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty inscribed to his left and the date 1962 to his right. The motto "In God We Trust" arches over the top of Lincoln's head. The reverse of the coin, the familiar wheat cent design, features two stalks of wheat along the edges, symbolizing prosperity, and the words 1 cent and United States of America at the center. The combination of Lincoln's portrait, symbolic wheat ears, and the coin's historic significance already makes the 1962 penny an interesting piece. However, what truly sets certain coins apart from the ordinary are the errors, anomalies, and unusual features that occurred during production. Mint marks are one of the first elements that collectors examine when evaluating the potential value of a 1962 Lincoln penny. In 1962, pennies were primarily struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically does not carry a mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which uses the letter D as its mark. Rarely, a mint mark can be misplaced, missing, or doubled, creating a significant impact on a coin's value. For instance, a 1962 D penny that is missing its D mint mark is considered extremely rare. This could have happened due to a die preparation error, polishing, or some other anomaly during the minting process. When such a coin is authenticated by professional grading services, it becomes a prized collectible with substantial value. Double die errors are among the most sought after anomalies in coin collecting, and the 1962 Lincoln penny is no exception. A double die occurs during the creation of the die itself, when the design is impressed more than once in slightly different positions. This results in visible doubling on certain elements of the coin. On a 1962 penny, this could be seen on the word Liberty, the date 1962, or other design features like Lincoln's beard, hair, or facial profile. A true double die error shows rounded, separated doubling, not just a flat, shelf-like appearance, making it an unmistakable and highly collectible anomaly. One of the most fascinating categories of errors involves wrong planchet or wrong metal coins. In 1962, Lincoln pennies were made of a composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. If a penny were struck on a planchet intended for another coin type or with a different metallic composition, it would create an error of extraordinary interest. Such coins can vary in color, weight, and even sound when tapped, making them instantly recognizable to trained collectors. Weight anomalies can also indicate errors. A standard 1962 Lincoln penny should weigh approximately 3.11 grams. Coins that significantly deviate from this standard could have been struck on the wrong planchet, improperly alloyed metal, or through other production errors. Even small variations in weight are closely examined by collectors and numismatists because they may signify valuable mistakes. Die cracks, die chips, and cuds are other forms of errors that collectors seek out. These occur when the die used to strike the coin develops small cracks or breaks under the pressure of repeated use. Die cracks appear as raised lines on the coin, die chips create raised blobs where part of the die has broken off, and cuds leave raised blank areas where design elements are missing. These imperfections are unique to the coin struck from that die and often enhance both its rarity and visual interest. Striking errors like off-center strikes and broad strikes are additional reasons why a 1962 Lincoln penny might carry value far above its face value. An off-center strike occurs when the planchet is not perfectly aligned under the die during striking, resulting in a portion of the design being missing or truncated. The greater the off-center percentage, the more valuable the coin tends to be. especially if the date and important inscriptions remain visible. Broad strikes occur when the coin spreads outward due to a malfunctioning collar die, creating a larger diameter and thinner coin. Broad-struck pennies with clear, readable design elements can be highly sought after. Multiple strike errors are another striking category. These occur when a coin is struck more than once, sometimes with slight rotation between strikes. The overlapping impressions can create dramatic visual effects and significantly increase the coin's collectability. A 1962 penny that shows multiple strikes and retains strong details is considered a remarkable find. Condition is an absolutely crucial factor in determining the value of a 1962 Lincoln penny. While millions of these pennies were produced, most entered circulation and experienced wear from everyday use. Finding a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition is far more difficult. A penny that retains its original mint luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks is rare and commands a much higher price. When exceptional condition is combined with a recognized error, the value can soar dramatically, explaining why a coin with a face value of just 1 cent can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Professional authentication and grading play a critical role in establishing the credibility and market value of valuable coins. Third-party grading services examine coins for authenticity, identify specific errors, and assign a grade that reflects the coin's condition and rarity. For high-value error coins like the 1962 Lincoln penny, certification is essential, as it reassures collectors and investors of the coin's legitimacy and protects its long-term value. Collector demand is another key factor that drives the value of rare pennies. Lincoln pennies are among the most widely collected series in the United States, and rare errors are highly desirable. Coins that are visually striking, historically significant, or display unusual anomalies attract intense interest. When a truly rare 1962 penny appears in a collection, auction, or even in circulation, it can generate fierce competition among collectors, which directly drives up its market value. There is also a strong emotional appeal tied to coins like the 1962 Lincoln penny. They represent the idea that hidden treasures exist in everyday life. Many collectors are fascinated by the possibility that a life-changing coin might be sitting unnoticed in a jar of loose change, a wallet, or an inherited collection. This sense of mystery and opportunity adds to the excitement of searching for valuable pennies and explains why collectors remain passionate about coins from even decades ago. The story of the 1962 Lincoln penny also underscores the importance of education and careful observation in coin collecting. Many potentially valuable coins are unknowingly spent or overlooked because people do not know what to look for. Understanding mint marks, design features, metallic composition, and common error types empowers collectors to recognize and preserve coins of exceptional value. Visual appeal is critical in determining collector interest. Two coins with similar errors can sell for vastly different amounts depending on their appearance. Coins with sharp, clear strikes, minimal damage, and distinct error features are far more desirable than those with heavy wear or poor visual quality. Eye appeal can often make as much difference in value as rarity or error type. The 1962 Lincoln penny highlights how minor differences can make a dramatic impact. Even subtle anomalies, like a slightly doubled die, a small die chip, or a faint off-center strike, can turn an ordinary penny into a rare collector's item. Because the Lincoln penny series has been extensively collected and studied, any deviation from the standard design is scrutinized and appreciated by numismatists around the world. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny has become an iconic piece of American coinage. Its historical significance, wide distribution, and variety of designs make it a cornerstone of any coin collection. Error coins like the 1962 Lincoln penny are a reminder that even within a mass-produced item, there can exist a world of unique variations that tell a story about the production process, technological limitations, and human oversight at the mint. Professional grading and authentication not only help establish value but also preserve coins for future generations. Coins like the 1962 Lincoln penny, when certified, provide collectors with confidence that the coin is genuine, rare, and worth its market price. If you are fascinated by the hidden stories behind everyday coins, if the idea that something as small and ordinary as a penny can hold extraordinary value excites you, then you are absolutely in the right place. Now we are going to explore the world of the Liberty 1 cent, focusing specifically on the 1974 Lincoln penny from the United States. At first glance, this coin may seem like nothing more than a piece of copper you might find in your pocket or in a jar of spare change. Its face value is only 1 cent, but under exceptional circumstances, certain 1974 Lincoln pennies have been reported to reach values as high as $60,000, a staggering difference between the coin's face value and its potential market worth. This incredible gap exists because of rare errors, minting mistakes, irregular mint marks, and unusual possibilities that make these coins highly sought after by collectors and numismatic experts alike. The 1974 Lincoln penny is part of the iconic Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. This series has been in continuous production for over a century, making it one of the longest-running coin series in United States history. The obverse of the 1974 penny features the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln, facing right, with the word Liberty to his left and the date 1974 to his right. Above Lincoln's head is the motto "In God We Trust." The reverse of the coin features the wheat cent design, with 2 stalks of wheat framing the coin and the words 1 cent and United States of America at the center. The combination of Lincoln's portrait, symbolic wheat ears, and historical significance already makes the 1974 penny interesting to collectors. However, it is the errors, anomalies, and unusual characteristics that elevate certain pennies to extraordinary value. Mint marks are a critical detail when evaluating the potential worth of a 1974 Lincoln penny. Pennies from 1974 were primarily struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically does not carry a mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which uses AD as its mint mark. Rarely, a penny can appear without a mint mark where one is expected, or with a misplaced, doubled, or repunched mint mark. For example, a 1974 D penny missing its D mint mark is considered extremely rare and valuable. Such errors typically occur due to issues in die preparation, excessive polishing, or other anomalies during the minting process. When a coin with these characteristics is authenticated by a professional grading service, it becomes highly desirable and can command significant premiums in the collector market. Double die errors are among the most famous and sought-after anomalies in coin collecting, and the 1974 Lincoln penny is no exception. A double die occurs during the creation of the die itself when the design is impressed more than once in slightly different positions. As a result, every coin struck from that die carries the same doubling. On a 1974 penny, doubling may appear on the word Liberty, the date 1974, the motto "In God We Trust," or other design elements, including Lincoln's facial features and hair. True double dies are characterized by rounded, separated doubling rather than flat or shelf-like distortion. Coins exhibiting these features are immediately recognizable and highly prized by collectors. Another category of valuable errors involves wrong planchet or wrong metal coins. In 1974, Lincoln pennies were made from a composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. If a penny was struck on a planchet intended for another coin or made of a different metallic composition, it would be considered a highly significant error. Such coins often differ in color, weight, and even sound when tapped, making them instantly noticeable to collectors who are trained to identify unusual coins. Weight anomalies are another important indicator of potential errors. A standard 1974 Lincoln penny should weigh approximately 3.11 grams. Coins that deviate significantly from this standard may have been struck on the wrong planchet, improperly alloyed metal, or otherwise affected by minting irregularities. Even subtle variations in weight can signal a coin of interest to collectors and numismatists, as they may point to an error worth investigating. Die cracks, die chips, and cuds also contribute to the value of certain 1974 Lincoln pennies. These errors occur when the die used to strike coins develops small cracks or breaks under the stress of repeated use. Die cracks appear as raised lines on the coin, die chips create raised blobs where part of the die has broken off, and cuds leave raised blank areas where design elements are missing. Each of these imperfections is unique to the coin struck from that die, making them highly collectible and often visually striking. Striking errors, such as off-center strikes and broad strikes, are other reasons why a 1974 Lincoln penny can command a price far above its face value. An off-center strike occurs when the planchet is not perfectly aligned under the die at the moment of striking, resulting in a portion of the design being truncated or missing. The more significant the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin tends to be, especially if the date and key inscriptions remain visible. Broad strikes occur when the coin spreads outward due to a malfunctioning retaining collar, creating a larger diameter and thinner coin. Broad-struck pennies with clear design details are particularly sought after. Multiple strike errors, where a coin is struck more than once with slight misalignment between strikes, create visually fascinating overlapping patterns. A 1974 penny that shows multiple strikes and retains sharp details can be considered a remarkable find and often commands significant attention among collectors. Condition is one of the most important factors in determining a coin's value. While millions of 1974 pennies were produced and entered circulation, most experienced wear and tear. Finding a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition is rare. A penny that retains its original mint luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks is far more valuable. When a coin in exceptional condition also displays an error, its market value can rise dramatically, explaining how a coin with a face value of 1 cent can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Professional authentication and grading are critical for establishing the legitimacy and market value of rare coins. Third-party grading services verify authenticity, identify specific errors, and assign a grade reflecting the coin's condition and rarity. For high-value coins like a 1974 Lincoln penny with significant errors, professional certification provides confidence to collectors and ensures that the coin can command its true market value. Collector demand is a major factor driving the high values of rare pennies. Lincoln pennies are among the most widely collected coins in the United States, and errors are highly desirable. Coins that are visually striking, historically significant, or show unusual characteristics often generate intense competition among collectors. This competition directly impacts the market price, allowing certain coins to achieve remarkable valuations. The 1974 Lincoln penny also illustrates the emotional appeal of coin collecting. Many collectors are fascinated by the possibility that a valuable coin could be sitting unnoticed in a pocket, a jar of change, or an inherited collection. The idea that something as ordinary as a penny can hold extraordinary value captures the imagination and drives the passion behind numismatics. Understanding mint marks, die characteristics, metal composition, and common error types empowers collectors to recognize and preserve coins of exceptional value. Many valuable coins are unknowingly spent or overlooked simply because people do not know what to look for. Education and careful observation are essential tools for discovering and appreciating rare coins. Visual appeal plays a major role in the desirability of error coins. Two coins with the same type of error can have vastly different values depending on their appearance. Coins with clean surfaces, strong strikes, and clearly visible error features are far more attractive to collectors than coins with heavy wear, damage, or weak impressions. The 1974 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how small variations can have a dramatic impact on value. Subtle anomalies, such as a minor doubling of letters, a small die chip, or a faint off-center strike, can transform an ordinary penny into a rare and highly sought-after collector's item. Because the Lincoln penny series is so widely studied and collected, any deviation from the standard design is carefully scrutinized and appreciated. The Lincoln penny series itself has become an iconic representation of American coinage. Its historical significance, wide circulation, and long production history make it a cornerstone of many collections. Error coins like the 1974 Lincoln penny remind us that even mass-produced items can contain unique variations that tell stories about the production process, the technological limitations of the mint, and the human oversight involved. Professional grading and authentication not only establish value but also preserve coins for future generations. Certified coins, especially those with significant errors, give collectors confidence in their purchases and protect long-term value. A 1974 Lincoln penny that has been professionally authenticated ensures that its rarity, condition, and error type are properly recognized and preserved. The thrill of discovering a valuable coin is part of the appeal of numismatics.